Okay, so hello guys. So it is 8 o'clock. So now is the time to start. Let me just quickly turn on my camera as well so that you guys can actually see who your trainer and how does he look like actually, whether he's really Piyush or not. Okay. Yeah, it's very, very, very important. So, guys, this is me. Hi, I'm Piyush Gupta. So, I'll give a basic introduction about me. So, I'm having around 19 plus years of IT experience. So, I've started my career from Punjab. So, in 2006 year. So, I'm about to complete 20 years now. Long journey, but very difficult now. I've survived 4 layoffs. To be very honest, I know some of you are having the same thing. Okay, market is very difficult, guys. So, it is the right thought process to basically upskill and upgrade yourself. Never be loyal to your company. I'll be very open and honest. Okay. Because we don't know when the company stops liking us. Okay. So I started as a manual tester, moved on to automation. So I started my training career somewhere in 2009 or 10. I don't know. Back then we had no Zooms actually. So we had a software called as TeamViewer. I used to give trainings on that. It was very imperfect, but yes, I started giving trainings and that gave me a lot of confidence. I was very shy, very introverted person. Okay, so that gave me a lot of confidence that yes, I can add value to people. Okay, now it has been a journey of more than 15 plus years now. Okay, so I started with Selenium, moved on to Cypress, and then moved on to Playwright. So since last 2, 3 years, I have given tons and tons of trainings on Playwright. So I'm super confident with Playwright now. Okay, so my thought process is how much I can add value to people. And that is one thing I want to tell you. In today's difficult market, if you really want to sustain, right, start thinking about it's not just about executing test cases. It is not about how many scripts I can automate and please my manager. No, if you are thinking in that way, you are already far behind. Now you want to start thinking about how much value I can give to my employer, because it is all about value given game now. If you are giving tons and tons of value to your employer, he has no option other to retain you. Okay, so it is not about the salary now. It is all about the value given thing. So the more value that you give to the marketplace, the more you get. In my case, why am I getting so many repeated batches of Playwright? Okay, why? I'm actually a Capgemini certified, you can say they're a reputed trainer, and I usually travel to their locations pan India, and I give their trainings to their lateral batches, their freshers and all. Okay, so the one thing what I want to share with you is like it is all about developing those skills so that you can be indispensable at this particular moment. If you are just focusing on manual testing alone, it's going to be very hard, because nowadays whether companies put you into automation project or manual project, that is immaterial. The most important thing that you should understand is what, whether they put you into any project, right, they are expecting that you should have good automation experience, and Selenium is kind of considered as a standard. Okay, but Playwright is growing big time, and that is something what we're going to see today. Okay, so I have a lot to cover. Okay, but the time is very limited, so I'll see how much I can actually share with you guys. Okay, so I'll share my screen. I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the course, what exactly I have planned over here. Okay, and then we can get started. Okay, so and yes, I will give you some opportunities for you to ask me questions towards the end of the session. Okay, so because 9 o'clock, around 9:15, I have another class. Okay, we have another batch that is about to complete. So I'll try to, wind up this session around 9ish or something. Okay, so we'll see how we can proceed. Okay, so this is just a little bit about my introduction. Now I'll share my screen, and then I'll give you a quick walkthrough about the course, what exactly I have planned. So see if this is actually adding value to you. Okay, now let me share my screen. Just give me one sec, guys. Okay, so I have shared my screen. Please let me know if you are able to see.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So guys, I've designed this course in a way that basically if you are a completely beginner in manual testing, or if you are completely beginner in automation testing as well, right, you can get started, because we are covering everything from scratch as if you are a fresher. This is how we have covered. Okay, so we are starting from the complete JavaScript basics, because this course is actually Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay, in case if you are not sure, not aware about TypeScript, TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript, and most companies are now looking for TypeScript because there are a lot of issues with JavaScript. Okay, and I'll show you what are those issues with JavaScript. Okay, even if you've never coded before, there are a couple of issues. Okay, so the first thing is what, we are starting with the JavaScript basics. Okay, in the JavaScript basics, we'll be talking about primitive types, string manipulation, comparison operators, or everything. See, from my 20 years of experience, I've understood and I know where people actually get stuck. Most people, where do they get stuck? Most people get stuck in the coding rounds. Okay. And they are not sure. Suppose if you are giving interview and the interviewer is asking you a question, most of the times we don't know what to respond, how to communicate the thought process clearly. Why? Because our coding basics are not in place. Most people know things on a superficial, on a very high level. Okay, that is what I want to challenge. Basically, I will be talking about things in detail. For example, not only we'll understand about arrays and objects. Everybody, if you go to Google, you go to Udemy, people will tell you this is array, this is how we use it. But that is not the right way of learning. The right way of learning is you should understand why do I even need arrays? Why do I even need objects in the first place? Everyone talks about object oriented programming. This is your class, this is your object, this is inheritance. Fine, you can learn about this. Nothing wrong with it. But even better, we should understand why do I even need classes in the first place? What is the problem that I have that I really need inheritance? Why do I even need constructors in object oriented programming? That is something what we'll understand. Okay, so yes, this is fine. We'll be covering everything in detail. You think about a topic in JavaScript and we have it. Okay, so we'll start with JavaScript intermediate. We'll talk about functions, reusable functions. There are some specific things that are only there in JavaScript, not even in Java, like function expressions. We have something called as template literals, which is exclusively in JavaScript. For example, backtick key. I know majority of you may not have even heard about backtick key. Anyone can tell me where is backtick key on your keyboard? Look at your keyboard and tell me, do we have backtick key anywhere?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
where is
below the escape.
Yes, below the escape key. And when I ask this question to a lot of people, most people have no clue only. They've seen this key, but they don't know that it is called backtick. Okay, so glad to hear from Janki that you know this. Okay, so we'll start with intermediate JavaScript. We'll talk about block scope, function scope. Basically, we'll not just learn from the project point of view. Okay, we'll also cover those topics as well that sometimes are asked in interview questions. But my thought process is this: if the concepts are clear in detail, clearing interview should be a piece of cake. Because I know some of you message me personally that Piyush, I'm on notice period. Piyush, I'm an immediate joiner and I badly need a job. In that case, you want to study hard. You want to cover your concepts. Most people are in a holiday mode. Yes, it is okay. But if you don't have a job right now, if you're an immediate joiner, forget about holidays. Focus about getting a job ASAP. Get better every single day. Okay. Now, we'll start with array methods. These are very important methods: for each, map, filter, sum, every. This is something that we have to use not only with JavaScript, even in Playwright also. Because Playwright is a very simple tool. In order to work with this tool effectively, you need to have good knowledge of JavaScript and TypeScript. Without basic knowledge of JavaScript and TypeScript, it will be a nightmare to work in Playwright. See, I'm being very open and honest here. This is a very, very important part. Where do people get stuck? Like I was mentioning, logic building and interview preparation. Okay, so we'll be doing some programs together to enhance the coding skills. Okay, so we'll be talking about some basics. What is the right thought process? How do we start tackling the coding problems? That is where most people get stuck. And then developing the thought process, and not only developing the thought process, but communicating it effectively through the interview also. And then we'll move on to advanced JavaScript, wherein we'll talk about object-oriented programming. Fine, but we'll also talk about where do I need them in the first place? What is the problem in traditional programming? And why do I even need object-oriented programming? That is the highlight of this course. Most people love it. Okay. And then we'll talk about the mysterious this keyword. Okay. When I got started, for almost 6 months or even a year, I could not understand this keyword. It was very confusing. But I'll try to make it very, very simple and easy for you. Okay. We'll talk about arrow functions. Okay. And how they are different from regular functions. And something unique to JavaScript is your promises, async and await. It has taken me almost 2 years. I saw so many YouTube videos, so many Udemy videos also. I'll be very open and honest. I could not understand promises when I was learning JavaScript back then. Okay, because this promises concept, it looks very confusing. Okay, but it is not as difficult as it looks like because Playwright relies heavily on promises and async and await behind the scenes. So we should have these concepts very, very clear. Even in interviews, most people ask you a very simple question: what is promise? Where is it used in JavaScript and Playwright? Okay, we'll understand this in details. Once we are done with JavaScript, then we'll move on to something called as TypeScript, which is the superset of JavaScript. Okay, so we'll study what is TypeScript, what are the issues with JavaScript, and why do I even need it. Okay, we'll actually study how to set up a TypeScript project with Playwright because that is what industry is requiring. Most companies now look for Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript. Some people ask me, Piyush, should I go with Java with Playwright, or should I go with C Sharp or even Python with Playwright? Nothing wrong with these languages. They are very powerful. But Playwright has an out-of-box connectivity with JavaScript and TypeScript, because any new feature that comes up with Playwright, okay, it is there only for JavaScript and TypeScript. For Java, Python, and other languages, it usually takes a few months to catch up. Okay, so most companies, most projects, they are looking for Playwright with JavaScript and not Java and not C Sharp and not Python and other languages. Okay, so JavaScript and TypeScript is the default language of Playwright. Just like for Selenium, Java is the most, you can say, ruling language of Selenium. Okay, not any other language. We'll talk about types and interfaces, how TypeScript is different, and how it is actually providing some type safety into the programs. Just like how Java is quite strict, similarly, your TypeScript is also very strict. Then we'll start with VS Code, and throughout this particular course. So this is a separate section I've written, but we'll study VS Code throughout this course. Okay, how to set up VS Code for Playwright development, what are the essential plugins, how to basically use some VS Code shortcuts, everything what we'll see. Okay, yeah. So VS Code, then we'll start with the Playwright. Okay, so in the Playwright, we'll study what is Node.js, what is VS Code. Most people have no idea. Okay, what is Node.js and VS Code? We'll study from scratch, and I have prepared a document with you. Some of you are very, very new for Playwright, and I understand that. I'll share this document with you, how to install Node.js, how to install VS Code, and how to even start with Playwright from scratch, even if you have never worked on this before. Okay, from scratch, which is going to be very, very easy. And if you have doubts, my number I'll share with you guys, and you can post me. You can post a query in the WhatsApp group. You can post me in private, whatever works for you. And Playwright supports these browsers, guys: Chromium, Firefox, WebKit. Okay, and then we'll see how Playwright works on all these browsers. Not only these browsers, Chromium also works with the real Chrome browser as well. How to create the first script from scratch, as even if you have never worked on Playwright before. What is Playwright Runner? What is a configuration file? Like if you compare Playwright with Selenium, Selenium is a pretty powerful tool, but the problem with Selenium is what? It is a very raw tool. It has nothing. For example, if you want to capture screenshots with Selenium, you have to write code. Now, if you are like me, if you are scared of Java, because when I got started, initially, I was very afraid of Java. I could not tell it to other people. Why? I'd look stupid if I'll share this. Yeah, but I was very scared of Java. Okay. Okay. But in the case of Selenium, suppose if I want to do, let's say, parallel execution, again, it is not supported by default. It is supported in Playwright. So Playwright has a lot of features which makes it a lot beginner friendly tool. Even if you have no coding experience or low coding experience, you can start with Playwright easily. So Selenium is more of a developer friendly tool, according to me, while Playwright is more of a beginner friendly tool. Each has their own strengths actually. Okay. But in today's market, yes, Playwright is in big demand, but still you should have at least basics of Selenium, because in interviews, people expect as if you have at least basic knowledge of Selenium. Yes. We'll start with Playwright architecture and how Playwright is faster and better in architecture because of the web sockets. For example, in WhatsApp, suppose if I'm communicating to you, it is like a tunnel. Okay, we are actually communicating over the latest technology, which is our WebSockets. Selenium doesn't rely on WebSockets. Selenium still relies on REST APIs. Okay, and the connection gets closed. That is why Selenium architecture is slower compared to Playwright, and we'll study this in depth. We'll talk about the inspector tool, reporting, test structure, and running. Look at this. Yeah, so we have designed this course in a very, very thorough manner. You think about a Playwright topic and we have it. We'll talk about assertions. What are the behavior assertions? To have assertions, auto weight mechanism. Why a lot of people are shifting towards Playwright? Because of its auto weighting mechanism. In Selenium, there is no weighting, zero weighting actually. So I have to rely on either implicit weight or explicit weight. But in Playwright, it has auto weight mechanism inbuilt. For every command, we have auto weighting mechanism. Okay, so that is what makes Playwright a lot stable. We'll see this auto weight mechanism. We are not going deep, I mean, technically as of now. I'm just sharing with you what all things I've decided. And I'll share this entire link of the course so that you can go through it. Okay, we'll talk about regular expressions also, how to use in Playwright. We'll talk about page object model design pattern. And not only this, we will study how to do page object model with TypeScript, not with JavaScript, with TypeScript. We'll also study how to generate the test data using the Faker library. We'll also understand cookie injection and all those things. Locating web elements in depth. These are Playwright's 7 unique elements. unique locating techniques, which is very, very powerful. And Playwright recommends that instead of going for CSS or XPath, which can be somewhat confusing, go with this, which is more easier, user friendly, beginner friendly, these ones. And we'll actually dive into depth into all of these locators. Record and playback is not recommended, especially in real-time projects, but for beginners, yes, this is fine. We'll talk about this as well. And then Playwright has UI mode, runner, traces. We'll talk about VS Code extension for running tests. What is UI mode? Okay, we can capture before and after screenshots without writing zero code. Okay, Playwright logs, network logs, logging, mapping actions with source code. Everything is there. Okay, so, and beginners find it very easy to understand why it is super friendly actually. Okay, why? When Playwright was actually okay, so Playwright was created by Microsoft. So when they were creating Playwright, they thoroughly observed Selenium. They thoroughly observed Cypress, which is another leading automation tool. Okay, and I've given so many trainings on Cypress also before this Playwright actually became trendy. Okay, so and they have observed what are the issues and drawbacks of Selenium and Cypress. Okay, and after studying their drawbacks, they have actually created this Playwright tool. Okay, so we'll also talk about standard elements like drop downs, alerts, checkbox, web tables. This is fine. This is very easy. But we'll also talk about very advanced concepts like pagination table, which is not easy. Okay. We'll also talk about mouse events and uploading files. We'll also talk about handling the child windows. Okay. This is unique to Playwright. Multi-user workflow. We don't have this in Selenium. In the case of multi-user workflow in the same test, I can open two separate browsers, which is lightweight browsers. In Selenium, the browser that we open is not lightweight. It is a full-fledged Chrome browser, full-fledged Chrome, okay, right, which consumes a good amount of memory in your operating system. But in Playwright, whenever I open multiple windows, there are multiple contexts in the same browser, which are isolated. So opening windows, multi-user windows in Playwright is very, very light process. Okay. And we can automate multi-user workflow. We'll see this part. Multi-tab workflow is also supported. Switching the focus to different windows. We'll learn how to drive the browsers from config file. And then API testing, which is very important. If we compare it with Selenium, do we have API testing? No, we don't. In Selenium, it doesn't support API testing. For API testing, we rely on tools like Rest Assured, which is a very popular library. It is not a tool, it is a library. Okay, so in Playwright automatically supports API testing, and we'll dive deeper into what are APIs, REST APIs, JSON structure, how do we call these APIs, how do we inspect network calls, and very cool feature of Playwright, which we don't have this in Selenium, which is your mocking. Previously, we don't had it. Now we have mocking and intercepting APIs, means passing fake response also. Yes, even if your backend server is down, we can still run these APIs. Okay, which is very cool feature of Playwright. And then we can even run your connected APIs. What do I mean by this? So basically, there are a couple of APIs. One is our open APIs, and then we have something called as what? Authenticated or secured APIs. For example, maybe after logging in, whatever APIs that I'll run from now, they are authenticated or secured APIs, which require some token, JWT token, something. Now, how do I get this token? By running first API, which is our login API. So I'll run the login API, fetch the token, save it somewhere, and use this token in all the subsequent APIs. That is what I mean by connected APIs. So we'll see this in action. Okay, so we'll see all these APIs, get, post, put, delete, and all those things, validating responses, and some best practices when it comes to API testing. So Playwright is catching up when it comes to API testing because Rest Assured is still the market leader when it comes to API testing. But most people have started realizing Playwright is also very powerful with API testing. It is catching up big time. And then visual testing, another powerful tool. So visual testing is what? This is your image comparison, pixel by pixel comparison. Okay, so as a manual tester, it is not humanly possible for you and I to physically capture your what your pixels and comparison, not possible. Okay, so for this we rely on Playwright, and Playwright is very powerful in this. We'll study this in depth. And then some solving Playwright interview questions, some complex UI scenarios, for example complex calendars. We'll see this in your page object model. We'll see some tricky drop downs which is not easy to locate. We'll automate fast.com internet speed, which is a very cool feature. Let me quickly show you. So if you open fast.com, okay, so what happens is it basically captures your speed. So it keeps on loading, loading, loading. Okay, so we'll see once it gets stable, you want to paste this into your console. Okay, this is a very interesting scenario. You will love it. So basically, it is going to teach you good amount of Playwright concepts, why it is not easy to automate. Okay, so we'll study this as well. So fast.com, and it is also a very famous interview question. I think maybe in Oracle or somewhere, it was asked how to automate fast.com, working with iframes, working with Shadow DOM. This is very cool feature. What is Shadow DOM? One DOM inside another DOM. Basically, it is used mostly in banking applications for security. One DOM, another DOM, like a mini DOM. So in Selenium, it is a pain to automate shadow DOMs. Why? There's no such thing as auto piercing. Don't worry if you don't understand this term auto piercing. We'll study how simple shadow DOM is. Even if you've never automated before, you will understand how easy it is in Playwright. Network request timing and synchronization. Moving on to Playwright framework features. So we'll study how to design this framework and how to basically customize this framework as per our requirement. Okay, because Playwright gives you its own inbuilt framework, and now it depends upon you and me. Suppose if I'm working in one project, my requirement could be different. So I'll customize my framework as per my requirements. You can customize your Playwright framework as per your requirements. So we'll see in detail what all things we have. Means page object pattern using TypeScript, data-driven testing using external files. So here we'll study so many different data sources, like how to use external JS files, JSON files, Excel files, CSV files, data-driven testing. We'll understand the configuration file of Playwright. Okay, like in Selenium, we have properties file, okay, which we have to create, but in Playwright, it is inbuilt there. Okay, so we'll have global settings and browser settings. We'll understand them in detail. Retry feature, very cool feature. If a test case fails, how to retry automatically. We have this feature inbuilt in Playwright. Recording videos inbuilt. You don't have to write zero code. Okay, again, very, very easy actually. Run and skip, command and arguments, detailed view of HTML reporting, custom scripts, CI/CD concepts. So we will study CI/CD concepts in detail, how to integrate Playwright framework with Jenkins. So we'll see how to integrate them. Okay, not only this, the most important thing is what? AI, best practices for framework development, guys. Okay, so throughout this course, I'll show you some bad practices so that you should know what not to do. We'll not just learn about good practices, we'll learn also about the best practices. And the best part about this course is what? I'm not here to teach you guys, because we are here to study together. Okay, so if you are ready to focus, ready to practice together, we can have a very good course actually together. Yeah, and then we'll start. This is the last topic, AI powered Playwright. We'll understand the Gen AI, because nowadays everyone is talking about AI. Okay, so we should have the basics of AI at least. I'm not asking you to be AI wizards, but still, at least we should have good knowledge of AI, AI coding tools. We should know GitHub Copilot. We should know how to use it. Playwright with a model context protocol. If you don't know model context protocol, MCP, we should understand how these MCP servers are being used, because nowadays most people are using these MCP servers. Okay, to create your Playwright code from scratch, to generate applications. Most people are using them. Okay, so we should also know that. Okay, so guys, people are moving on. We should be able to catch up. And what is the outcome from this course? Okay, this is the outcome that you can expect. If you are ready to study and if you are ready to practice, you can expect this outcome. Okay, so by the end of this course, you will understand Playwright fundamentals in depth. You should be able to explain the architecture and capabilities of Playwright in depth. You will have a good confidence. You can design and develop automated test cases, implement UI functional testing, cross-browser testing, maintain the test suites on your own. You can handle the advanced scenarios. You can generate reports and debug tests, integrate tests with CI/CD pipelines, and analyze the failures and improve stability. This is very important. Okay, so yes, these are some bonus materials, and approximately this course will take around 45-50 hours. I would suggest go through these FAQs. And yes, most people have this question, will recordings be shared? Yes, recordings would be shared. Okay, and they are for lifetime access. Okay, just go through this FAQ course. Okay, so even if you are able to miss a session, you will get the recording the very next day. I will be sharing some assignments with you, so I'll create a drive link for you, wherein I'll be sharing all the course content, the assignments, the notes, okay, your JavaScript files, everything, what we'll be covering. Okay, so this is it. And yes, most people ask this question, can I crack automation interviews? Yes, if you attend sessions regularly and if you practice consistently, which is a variable, okay, and complete your assignments, you'll be very well prepared to face interviews. Okay, so yes, you will get a certification as well at the end of this course, so the team will be shared. Okay, and yes, we will provide you support even after the course ends. Okay, so you can always reach out to me. Okay, so this is a high level thing. Okay, so and then finally, I'll quickly share with you. So this is me. So I'll just share with you. So this is my LinkedIn profile. You may want to connect with me over here. So I'm actually a test architect with 20 years of experience. I have worked on different automation tools. Okay, I'm a YouTuber as well. I'm a content creator too. I have trained 1,000+ people in automation. Okay, so luckily I know how to teach well. So most people find my trainings very interactive and they really like it. And I make people never fall asleep in my trainings. Why I'm super energetic. Even at 8 o'clock, most people are very tired. I'm not. Okay, so this is me. Okay, now let us get started. So the first thing that what I want to share with you guys is, let us see why people are talking about Playwright so much. Okay, let us see. So we'll compare a couple of tools like Selenium. So we have something called as WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver. Like Janaki was mentioning, one more person was also mentioning. This is a Selenium WebDriver. Okay, this is how it is performing. Now let us compare your Selenium WebDriver with Cypress and let us see where is Selenium WebDriver and Cypress are comparing. Let's see. This is a Cypress. This is a Selenium blue line is a Selenium. Cypress is orange. Let us see where is Playwright. So look at this Playwright. Hmm. Okay, so you might think this might be a fluke if it is 1 year. Let us see all time. Let us see. So you see, back in 2016, 17, 18, there was no Playwright. Okay, see, Cypress has just started growing up. Cypress is also a very popular automation tool. So in 2020, almost 5 years back, Playwright was nowhere actually. Okay, so Cypress was pretty popular back then, and Selenium, of course, everyone knew. So Selenium has around 20 years of experience. So from here, you see, this is where Playwright is. Cypress is actually overtaken Selenium around 2021. But here, starting from 23 onwards, you see, this is Playwright. Can you see this graph? If I just select any random peak, as of August 24, look at the downloads of Cypress, which is how much? 61 lakhs. Compare it with Selenium WebDriver, 17 lakhs. Okay. Compare it with Playwright. What is Playwright? Is it 19 lakhs? No, it is 1.93 lakh. No, sorry. It is 1 crore 93 lakhs approximately, which is huge, guys. So this tells us something. So this tells us that industry is heading somewhere. Okay. One thing is, we can watch it happen or we can be a part of this growth. I feel that we should be a part of the growth, okay, rather than watching it from distance. Okay, so we have seen the basic outline of the course. We have also seen that we'll be studying JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay, and then I have prepared a document that I'll be sharing with you guys. Okay, so just give me 1 sec. I'll share that document as well with you. So just 1 sec. Preparation of development environment. Yeah. So I have prepared this document, which is this one. I'll share it with you all. So inside this document, so what we'll do is, I have clearly mentioned how to install your Node.js, because some of you are maybe having a brand new laptop. If you have never installed Node.js before, you are recently starting with JavaScript and TypeScript and Playwright, how to install Node.js. Okay, so everything, whether you're on a Mac machine or whether you're on a Windows machine, okay, you should be able to install it. So after installing Node.js, okay, you will be able to install VS Code. So I've even mentioned how to install VS Code, everything I've mentioned over here. Okay, so this is about your VS Code. And finally, we'll start with what? Installation of Playwright. Everything, all these things are written from scratch. Okay, so everything you can do easily, guys. Okay, now what is Node.js firstly? What is Node.js? Some of you are from Java background. Yeah, so you might be aware. So in order to run Java, you need something called as JRE. What is JRE? JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. That is your JRE. So you can think of JRE like a engine which helps you run Java on your machine. So without having JRE, which is the Java engine on your machine, you cannot run Java programs, guys. All right. Now, in order to run JavaScript on your machine, you don't need JRE. JRE is for Java. So in order to run JavaScript on your machine, you need something called as Node.js. What is Node.js? Node.js is very similar to like what we have for Java, which is your JRE. So Node.js is for JavaScript. So to run your JavaScript code inside your machine, you need Node.js. Let me show you something. I'm on the browser, which is my Google. If I right click and click on inspect, I'll go to the console tab. I'll clear the console. Now, let me show you something. In my browser console, all the browsers, they have their own JavaScript execution engine. So suppose if you have bought a brand new laptop and this is the first software that you have recently installed, which is your Google Chrome. Okay. Suppose Chrome is your uh, software that you have installed. Now, can you run JavaScript? The answer is yes. Let me show you. What am I doing? See, this is not plain calculation. This is JavaScript code, guys. Let me show you. Like in Java, we have system.out.println something. In JavaScript, we have console.log. Hi, guys. See, See, I'm able to run JavaScript right inside the browser console. And in order to run JavaScript, I don't even need Node.js. Why? All the browsers, whether it is your Chrome, your Edge, Opera, whichever browser you're using, Firefox, right? All these browsers have their own execution engine. So guys, I'm teaching you these fundamental concepts. Most people don't know these things. You should study these concepts thoroughly. Okay. Now, outside the browser, if you want to run JavaScript, then you need Node.js. So if you are making notes, please write this down. If you want to run JavaScript inside the browser, you don't need Node.js. Okay, you don't need anything actually because browsers have their own JavaScript execution engine. Every browser has their own JavaScript execution engine. Outside the browser, I need Node.js. I hope this is clear. And this document will tell you how to install Node.js. Okay, so that is what it is. Now, moving on. I'll give you a very small scenario. What is the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript? But before that, okay, I'll even share with you the VS Code and how do I run. Okay, let me give you a simple thing. So I'll show you how to create the first Playwright project because this is a demo class. So we'll start with basics of JavaScript and we'll also start with basics of Playwright as well. Okay, so now I'll show you this as well. Hmm. Please let me know. Are you able to see my VS Code? Is it? Are you able to see my VS Code, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So now what we'll do is, uh, suppose if you have installed your Node.js, if you have installed your VS Code, now what you want to do is you want to create a project in VS Code. So how do I create a project in VS Code? It is super simple, guys. I'm on a Mac machine, as you can see. Suppose even if you're on a Windows machine, you can go to any drive, maybe D drive, maybe your desktop, anywhere. Okay. Suppose I go to the Finder, I'll create a new folder. Let me call it what? I'll rename. I'll give it, let's say, December 8 weekday patch, something like this. Okay, so I've created a folder, which is this one. Now, how to open this folder? It is super simple, guys. Just drag and drop. It is that simple, actually. See, I'm just dragging and dropping. How simple it is. I think anyone can do it. And by default, when you open a folder, it is empty folder. It has zero content, zero file, zero folder. And by default, the font size is slightly, you can say, smaller. What you can do is in your Windows, press Control and plus. On Mac machine, press Command and plus. Can you see? Control plus, Command plus. This is how you can increase or decrease the font size. Now, the second concept, what I want to tell you. In your VS Code, you have an integrated terminal. For example, if you want to run your Playwright scripts, how do I run Playwright scripts? Using the command prompt. Now, I don't have to go outside the VS Code because VS Code is giving me an own integrated terminal so that I don't have to go outside VS Code. How do I open the terminal? It is super simple. Just click on this terminal, new terminal, and you see the terminal is open. But I'm a little lazy in that case. I want to open terminal in a more easier way. Let me quit the terminal. So if I just click on this button, kill terminal, let me kill it. Now, how to open the terminal in a more super simple manner? Anyone can do. Simply press Control and backtick keys. Where is the backtick key I was showing you? It is right below the escape key. Yeah. So now press Control and this backtick key. See, terminal is open, terminal is closed. How simple it is. You don't want to cram it, but if you'll practice it enough times, you'll automatically remember it. Like in my case, I've not crammed it. Okay. So this is how you open the terminal. Okay. Now, what we want to do is I want to show you what are the differences between your JavaScript and TypeScript. A very quick thing. Okay, so that even as a beginner you can understand, let me give an example. Let's say I have created a file called one.js. Okay, here, let me write a simple JavaScript code. So I'll create a variable. Let's say let number equal to 10. And yeah, this is how we create variable in JavaScript. We don't use int, byte, short and all in what we use in Java, because in JavaScript, I have to use only two keywords, let and const. Okay, so I can use only let and const to create a variable in JavaScript. Now, if I create a variable like this, can I do this? Number equal to Piyush? Unfortunately, it is allowed in JavaScript. In Java, this is not allowed because here I am clearly telling that it has to be a number, because this int is not valid in JavaScript. That is why it is throwing an error. But in JavaScript, this is very much allowed. Means I'm storing 10 inside this variable. Later on, I'm storing a string in the same variable. Ideally, I don't want to do this. Okay. But JavaScript doesn't complain. It doesn't throw any error, but it can cause a lot of issues, lot of confusions in my code. Okay. And later on, I can even add a Boolean value also, which is your true or false. This is certainly allowed. See, VS Code is not complaining. And now if I do console.log, okay, I'll do this number. So what do? I'll select this code, or I don't even need to select. I'll click on this play button. I know you won't have this play button and I'll tell you how to get it. Just click on this play button and you see it is giving me the latest value, which is true. Okay. Now I'll show you how TypeScript fixes this issue. So what do? I'll create a file called, let's say, TypeScript.ts. So TypeScript is a superscript of JavaScript. Okay, so all the valid JavaScript code is valid TypeScript code. So TypeScript is what? TypeScript is your JavaScript. Yeah, TypeScript is JavaScript only, plus some additional stricter features. That is something we will see throughout in this course once we are done with JavaScript. Let me give a very simple example. So taking the same example, let's say let number equal to 10. Let me create a variable called, let's say, first name. First name equal to Piyush. Now, this is a TypeScript file. So any TypeScript file ends with a .ts extension, and you can confirm over here. See, it is VS Code is telling you we are running a TypeScript file. Okay. Now, what do? Can I do first name equal to 10? Let's see. See, that is the reason why we use TypeScript. See, I was trying to store a string which is allowed, but the moment I'm trying to store a different value other than string, say a number or even a boolean or something different, TypeScript is clearly complaining. Type number is not assignable to type string. You see, I'm getting this error at the, you can say, when I'm writing my script. But JavaScript, it is not complaining at all. That is what causes a lot of problems. That is the reason why we want to use TypeScript. This is just a very simple example. Later on, we'll see some more examples how TypeScript is super advanced and how it really helps us write the code in a more efficient manner. Yeah. So this is just a high level thing. Don't worry if things are not making sense so far. We'll cover all of this. Now, some of you must be wondering what all extensions that we have to do. I'll share all these extensions with you. So the first thing, click on this particular button. You see, it has this extensions. Inside this extension, you want to run this first extension, okay, which is your code run extension by Junhan. All you have to do is just click on the install button. In my case, I've already installed it. That is why I'm getting this. But the moment you install it, you will get this play button, and it is very easy to run JavaScript code. Otherwise, without this button, you have to open your command prompt and type your commands like node space file name, which is, yes, you can do, but it is kind of a hassle. Why to make things unnecessarily hard for you when you have some simple shortcuts? So this is your first extension. The second extension that you want to download is your live server by Ritvik Day. Don't worry, I'll share the list of all these extensions with you all. So this is the second extension that you want to download. It's a very popular extension, live server by Ritvik Day. The third extension, material icon theme. This is for beautifying your VS Code, which is completely optional. Like in my VS Code, you will see very colorful, beautiful icons. So I just believe in, anyways, if I'm going to work on VS Code, why not make my experience a lot better? Yeah. So this material icon theme you want to install by Philip Kaif, and then open in default browser. We will use this extension very frequently in Playwright. open in default browser by PicChen 90. Don't worry if some things are not clear. Okay, I'm just telling you, these are your setup. This is your initial setup that you have to do after installing VS Code. And finally, you want to install this extension, which is your Playwright test for VS Code. Okay, so this is what you want to install. And this, after installing this extension, you will see this particular button. You see this testing button on your left. So this is what you want to install. Okay, so with this, your VS Code setup is completely done. Okay, and now what we'll do is very quickly, I'll share with you how to basically create your first Playwright test from scratch. Okay, even if you have no idea. So what do? I'll do one thing. So I'm back on the terminal. In your terminal, if your Node.js is already installed, all you have to do is what? Run this command, npm init playwright @latest. This is how you install Playwright and create a Playwright project from scratch. This is what you do. The first thing what it'll do is it'll ask you for language. Which language? It is asking you, do you want to use JavaScript or TypeScript? We will go with TypeScript. Okay. So by default, it is automatically selected TypeScript, but if you use up and down arrow keys, you can select. Then it is asking, where do you want to store your test cases? So I'm selecting the default option, means store all my Playwright automation test cases in the test folder. Enter. GitHub Actions workflow, this is for what? This is for your CI/CD. You can ignore this one. So just select the default options. Just keep on hitting enter, enter, enter. Yeah, this is very cool. Playwright actually gives you its own set of browsers which are very stable. For example, Playwright gives you its own browser, which is Chromium, its own browser, which is a Firefox and WebKit, which is thoroughly tested and thoroughly stable. Okay. Why? Because it doesn't clash with your current existing browsers. But you can run your Playwright test cases on your real browsers like Chrome and Edge also. And that is something we'll see later on. So in this case, you want to select this option true. Without having Playwright browsers, you cannot run your test cases. Yeah, this is mandatory. Hit enter. In your case, it will install the Playwright browsers, which might take 5 to 10 minutes. In my case, I keep on giving these trainings. I already have these browsers on my machine. The moment you see this happy hacking, it means cool, your Playwright setup is done. Okay. So now what we'll do is I'll quickly show with you how to create your first Playwright test. And I would suggest please do it, even if you've never worked on Playwright before. This will give you confidence that Playwright is actually easy because Playwright is easy. Okay, that is the confidence. That is the thought process I want to share with you. So this is your test case. Okay, this is your file which contains your two test cases, which Playwright has given you for your reference. You can ignore them actually. Now, what we'll do is we'll create our own test from scratch. So what do? I'll copy this test. Okay, just copy any test, paste it, and remove everything. Means it will be a completely empty. Okay, so now here, I can even remove this also. Okay, so now let me give a test case name. This is where you can pass your test case name. My first test case. Even if you've never worked on Playwright, you can do this. Maybe you might be seeing this in a recording, but please, I would suggest do this. Okay, this will give you good confidence. So firstly, I'll go to this particular web page. I believe you all must have seen this website, Orange HRM login, something. Yeah. So this is a very popular website, okay, for automation because it is a dummy website where you can practice your automation. So just copy this URL, go to your VS Code, and simply paste here. So this page.goto is similar to your driver.get in Selenium. So what does this line means? Hey Playwright, land me on this particular page. Open a page and take me to this URL. That's it. It is super simple. In Selenium, you have to use what? WebDriver, new Chrome driver. You don't have to do any of this. Okay. Whenever you have this page here, it automatically gives you a fresh isolated browser. Okay. Now simply add this line, await page.pause. What does this mean? It means I'm telling Playwright that, hey, pause my Playwright test case here so that I can inspect the elements. I'll tell you what am I doing. Now, I want to run only this particular test. I'll add test.only. I'll explain you later on everything from scratch. For now, I'm just showing you how to create a first test. So now I'll open the terminal again. control backtick. So I'm back on the terminal. I want to run this test. npx playwright and then test. Okay, I'll hit enter. So by default, it is running in all the browsers. So this is very cool feature. Playwright run tests in all the three browsers by default, and it is all passed. And it runs in the headless mode, as you have seen. No browser physically gets opened. So what do? I'll go to your config file. Okay, let me hide the terminal for now. See, these are the three browsers. So Playwright run tests in your Chromium and Firefox and your WebKit. Chromium is an engine for Chrome. Firefox is there. WebKit is the engine for your Apple Safari, this browser. So I don't want to run the test on these two. Let me comment out these two. Okay. And then I'll go back to my example.spec. Okay. I think I'll be done in another 5 minutes. Then I'll open up for questions. Okay. So I'll open this, Control L to clear, up arrow key, and I'll write dash dash headed. What does it mean? I'm telling Playwright that, hey, I want to see the browsers. By default, Playwright doesn't open the browser. So I want to see the browser. So I'm saying, hey, please show me the browser. And now I'll see something interesting. Let's see. So it has opened Orange HRM. Okay, so Orange HRM page is open. And this Playwright Inspector window is also open, which is a very cool feature. So suppose if you are beginner in Playwright, you don't know how to create CSS or XPath, how to identify elements in automation. See, manually, this is a text box, this is another text box, this is a button. But how will Playwright know? I have to tell Playwright that this is a button, this is a text box. How do I do? We have this very cool feature. See, pick locator. Just click on this pick locator button and bring your mouse and it will tell you. Playwright thinks this is the best locator for finding the username. Just click on this and it has given the locator. Basically, locator means what? How to interact with this text box by writing this. How to read this? It is very simple, very user friendly. I'm looking for a text box with this name. Even a manual tester can understand. It is so beginner friendly. I'm looking for a text box with this name. See, this is a text box with this name, username. That is what we are doing. So Control C or Command C. I'll come over here and I'll write await page dot pause. Not pause, sorry. Page dot get by role. Okay, let me hide this. So how do I hide this terminal? Because I'm having a very small view of writing. What do? Just click on this button. Okay, I'll also hide this terminal. Now, this is a text box. In order to type something into the text box in Playwright, we have a fill method. I think you can all understand fill means type something into the text box. What do I want to type? Let me tell you. So in Orange HRM, this is the username. So I'll copy the username. I'll paste it here. Yeah. Similarly, I want to type something into the password. So await page dot. For password, what do? Just click on this pick locator. Go to your password field. Playwright is recommending this is a good locator of finding this. Just click on this and it has copied the locator. Just copy the locator, Control C or Command C, go back to your VS Code and paste it here. So what is the password? Password is admin123. Okay. And finally, I want to click on what? I want to click on the login button. So again, I'll click on this pick locator and click on the login button. So guys, this pick locator functionality is only for beginners. As advanced user, we don't use it. I'm just showing you how to create your first Playwright test case, even if you have no idea about how to automate these things. So Playwright is giving you such a cool functionality, right? How do you do this? So if I do this, just click on this and it will tell you how to read this. I'm looking for a button that has this name. How many buttons you have on this page that have this login name? Only one button. So this is a very powerful locator in Playwright, which is far better than the locators what Selenium gives us. Okay, why? This is more user friendly actually. Okay, because in Selenium, the CSS and XPath can be very difficult to understand. Yeah, so I'll copy this. I'll go to the VS Code, await, page dot, get by roll of button, dot, click. That's it. Okay, so now let me run this test. So let's see whether our first test is working fine or not. So fingers crossed. I'm pretty sure if you do this yourself, this will give you good confidence. Now, up arrow key and run. Let's see. So Playwright's auto wait mechanism is there, guys. So page is taking some time, so Playwright is patiently waiting. So you see, my first test is successfully built actually. Okay, please do this whenever possible. Please do this. It hardly will take 5 minutes. This is how you create your first test in Playwright, even if you have zero knowledge in Playwright. Okay, this is very simple. Please do this. Okay, now let me stop this. Okay, so so I think we are good for today. Now I'm opening up for questions. So let us see if people have some questions you can ask me. So Preeti Jagwani is asking, did we download Playwright? So yes, when I ran this command, Preeti, npm init playwright at the rate latest, I've installed Playwright in my folder. Okay. So any questions? So I would suggest you can please raise your hands. Otherwise, if everyone unmutes, it'll be a big chaos. So just raise your hands so that it is easier for everyone. And I'll pick. Uh, okay. Yeah. If you have any questions, just raise your hands. You will see this raise hand button at the bottom. If you have any questions. Yes, Soumya Ramesh. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So you basically mentioned that you're going to cover all the JavaScript at the beginning of the course.
Correct.
Um, what extent we are planning to cover those?
What extent? As in, I didn't get you. Come again, please.
So basically, it's quite a vast, isn't it? So are we just, mainly concentrating on to cover whatever it is required for Playwright automation perspective, or are we planning to cover everything?
No, no, no. I'm not just covering from Playwright perspective because tools come, tools go. We are
Mhm.
covering JavaScript as if tomorrow, maybe let's say there is another tool. Let's say maybe 2 years later, another tool comes up. But if your JavaScript fundamentals are clear throughout, you can jump onto another tool also. Right? So we are
Yes,
covering not
yeah.
just for Playwright, for everything, for covering the concepts. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, I am doing the Cypress at the moment at my work.
Great.
So it's just a basic one. So when I did only myself, explore it, but
Mhm.
I don't have much experience or knowledge about the JavaScript, so that's the reason I wanted to,
Okay.
the-
I'm pretty sure you will enjoy this course thoroughly because we are covering from scratch and I'll make it very fun and enjoyable. You will never see me boring, and also my lectures are very interactive and people really like it.
okay, yeah, yeah, that's fine, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But thank you so much for asking. Any other questions? Yeah. So I see DAS. I don't know. So how do I call you? But yes, you can unmute and ask me questions. DASVOSEV. I don't know. Yeah. Please unmute if you have a question. Any?
Hi, hi. Just a
Yes.
minute. So writing the test cases, you didn't add the semicolon. So that is also the feature of the playwright.
Okay, okay, yeah. So this is something I wanted to teach in VS Code. Basically, semicolons are completely optional. Okay, so if you see in my screen, right, I have not used semicolons. Okay, like here semicolon is there, but here I don't have semicolon because semicolons are mandatory in Java but optional in JavaScript. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? I can use semicolons though, not an issue. But we want to be consistent. If I'm not using semicolon, don't use anywhere. But if I'm using semicolons, use everywhere. Otherwise, it will be very confusing. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Yes, Pavan.
So, just a small doubt, like if we already have the Node.js in our system,
Hmm.
do we need to install the latest version, or is it okay to like if we have the previous versions to work with
That is
Playwright?
fine. Okay, that's a very good question actually. In my case, I'm still having Node.js 20 actually, but now market has 22 and 24 also. So as long as you have a stable LTS version, you are good actually. You don't want to unnecessarily jump to Node.js unless it is mandatory. So to answer your question, so which version you have, Pavan, in your case?
I think I have to check. That
You can
what the
type, yeah, you can type node space dash V in your terminal or your command prompt. Node space dash V.
yeah, it's a 22.15.1.
22 is good one. You don't have to, yes, 24 is the latest one, but 22 is also good unless you have a special requirement.
Okay. So I
Yes,
can directly go to VS Code editor and install, say, like create a folder and install
absolutely.
Playwright and start that coding. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. It is not like you need a latest in Node.js only. No, no, not needed actually. But
Okay.
I would suggest, Pavan, whatever I've shared with you today, how to create your first test, please do it. You will actually like it. Okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
And for JavaScript, maybe intermediate advanced, how much time it will take only for JavaScript, I'm asking.
So for JavaScript, we will study in depth actually because I never compromise on the course quality. So I'll study in depth and most people ask questions and I never say no for answers. So you can ask me
Mhm.
questions during the course, before the course, after the course. Yes. Okay. Now,
Yeah,
to thoroughly cover JavaScript, I think will take approximately a month, maybe slightly little more than a month or so, because we'll cover extensively along with TypeScript.
sure. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Plus,
Thank
I'll
you.
be sharing some assignments. If you'll really do those assignments, right, you will be in very good shape.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Soumya Ramesh, you have a question? Go ahead. Okay. Any other person?
So yeah,
Yes.
I'm just I wanted to know, like, how long is the course, and I mean, like, how many months or anything, like, is it once in a week? How does it the course?
Okay. Okay. So, okay. My bad. Actually, I should have shared this very clearly. So, guys, this course is actually a weekday batch. So, it is basically a 5 days in a week. Okay. Monday to Friday, 8 to 9 p.m. So, that is the course timings. Okay.
Ah,
Yeah. So, weekends, there are
I am
no
from
classes.
actually I'm from UK.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
8 to 9 is my working hours. So is there any other batch or anything which
There is no other batch at the moment because most after this batch, most people will be on a holiday season. I doubt if we are starting any other batch, especially in December. We,
so this
we,
batch is completely until December, is it? Or like
okay, so we are just starting with this batch today itself. So today is our demo class actually. Okay, so most probably tomorrow we will have another demo or something. Okay, so yeah, so to answer your question, so I don't see any of the batch starting soon, but this is the only time that we have. So usually
can
we have batches at 9 o'clock, but this is the first time we are having a batch at 8 o'clock.
can we compromise to move the timings to 9 to 10?
9 to 10, I don't see any batch starting soon. So I don't know how to answer this because I know most students are joining from UK. Some are from even US also. Some people are in Australia also. And for Australia people, they are 5.5 hours ahead. Very hard for them, but somehow they still manage it. I don't know how. So
Yeah, because I'm working, so yeah,
I
it's
totally
it's
understand.
just a half
I would
2:30
suggest,
afternoon.
yeah, I would suggest say if possible, maybe you can attend whatever you can, and later on, you will also get the recording also. So how so? I mean, totally depends. I mean, if you can plan your schedule accordingly, and if possible, you can attend live, or if not possible, you can see how it works for you.
Okay, if it's a recording, would there be any support for me,
Oh,
directly?
yes, absolutely, yes, because you can directly reach out to me. So, okay, guys, I'll share my number as well. Okay, I'm so glad I share. Okay, so I'm sharing my number. It is 7738 532684. I've shared in the meeting chat. If you have any questions related to the course, the content, anything, without hesitation, reach out to me and I'll be definitely helping out. Okay. I've just posted my message in the chat. Okay. Again, I'm mentioning 7738 532684. That is my number. Okay. Any other question, guys? Okay. So I see Janki has raised. Okay. Yes, Janki.
Page, I haven't installed the Node.js yet. Is it like for tomorrow's session? What is the expectation you want us to install, or are you planning to give us a walkthrough with the installation of
Oh, yeah.
Node.js and
Yeah,
everything?
absolutely. So most probably tomorrow I'll give you a quick walkthrough. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So tomorrow I'll give a walkthrough how to install Node.js and VS Code and this basically. Plus, I'll be sharing this document also with you. Actually, after going through this document, you won't need any walkthrough. But if you still want it, I can surely do it for you.
Okay. Okay. Then if you share the document, I'll give it a try. If I run into any issues, I will watch tomorrow's walkthrough
Yes, yes,
session.
absolutely. Okay. So guys, I'll share this document right here in the meeting chat.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Yes,
Also,
Sunil.
the course, the curriculum that you shared earlier, that would be helpful as well.
Okay, yes, I will share the course content also. I would suggest whosoever wants the course content, just drop me a WhatsApp. I have shared my number. So you are on WhatsApp, different WhatsApp groups. Just ping me on WhatsApp. I'll share it with you. Okay?
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. And just for like this course just started today, so
Mhm.
it will take up till end of January, maybe
Yes, it will take minimum 2 months, to be very honest.
minimum term. Okay.
Yes, because again, I mean, whatever I have to cover, I will have to cover without compromising on the quality. Because if people ask me questions, I cannot say no. Why? Because ultimately they are joining this live course because they are looking for more support, right? That's all.
Understand. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Sunil, you have a question. Tell me.
Yeah, hi Piyush. So actually, I got the assignment from my company to I have to design the framework using
Mhm.
Playwright with
Mhm.
JavaScript.
Okay.
So we'll cover everything using JavaScript or that JS
Okay. So we'll cover everything with JavaScript and TypeScript. So
type,
if
sorry, types. Yeah.
exactly, because if you study JavaScript, then moving to TypeScript would be very easy because
Okay.
TypeScript is basically a wrapper around JavaScript. Because of the issues with JavaScript, that is why Microsoft has created this TypeScript.
Fine.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, Riva, it is.
So one
Yeah.
more question. So
Yes.
we'll maybe go through the framework with the real-time example.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We will cover all the real-time examples. Otherwise, like I don't see I will be adding much value to you because ultimately you guys should understand the real-time examples, how Playwright actually handles with these real scenarios. For example, I was talking about fast.com, I was talking about shadow DOMs. These are some real scenarios what people usually face. For example, shadow DOMs, Selenium face is very difficult to automate because in Selenium we use JavaScript executor, which is very hard. But in Playwright, we'll understand how to dive these real examples for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
because I have to design the framework and
correct.
including that I have to train my team as well.
Oh, okay.
So,
I totally understand. If I was you, I would start immediately. I understand because when company is there, it's like talwar on our head.
so I read something through that YouTube's and I install everything.
Right.
So just maybe
No,
rest
no,
you
no
will guide
questions,
me.
Sibi. And I totally appreciate whatever you're asking me, and I understand you want to start ASAP actually. Yeah, because you want to start right now. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
Thank you.
worries.
Yeah.
No worries. So, guys, very important thing I want to tell you in today's times when market is tough, right? How you can separate out from the market. You want to be bold, you want to be loud, you want to be confident. Because if you're shy, when like I was shy very in my early part of my career, people used to crush me, guys. Being very clearly, you want to network with people right now. Be on LinkedIn, stay in touch. Okay, so that is what. So start applying jobs and I see people making a lot of mistakes, especially on LinkedIn and these job postings. What people do is whenever they see any job application, they blindly hit the apply. Please don't make this mistake. Before you hit apply, look at the keywords what we have in the job description. Put some keywords back into your CV. Make sure your CV is ATS. It has a good ATS score. Okay, because unfortunately, whether you like it or not, most companies have ATS filters. So ATS filter is what? It is kind of a robot that simply looks at your CV, it doesn't care. Okay, so it simply searches for some keywords. If it is not ATS friendly, it simply rejects it. So please make sure you have your ATS friendly resume. And before applying to jobs, add those keywords what you see in the job description. You should have those keywords into your CV. So you want to customize your CV after every job description. I know it is a tedious process, but in today's job market, you want to do it. All right. So now Reba was asking a question, is it possible to test the DB with Playwright? The answer is yes. For example, you can connect with MySQL DB. So in order to connect with these DBs, we have separate third-party libraries. So yes, we can do this thing, but we need to rely on third-party libraries and we have to respect their syntax to answer your question, Reba. So it is possible. Any other questions? Okay, glad. So somebody saying thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, I know some people are traveling, they cannot unmute. I understand that. Okay, no worries.
One, I have one quick question, Piyush.
Let
So,
them.
look, do we use Cucumber with Playwright anywhere? Like, Do, do we use cucumber here or no? Gherkin.
Okay, so what we can do is we can talk about the BDD, because BDD, most people they use BDD completely wrong. The main core theme behind BDD is what? Collaboration. But are we really doing collaboration in BDD? No, we are just using BDD just for the heck of it, just to please the management. Okay, that is not really BDD. Okay,
Okay.
BDD is, yeah. Okay, so but yes, if you want it, I can cover it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I would suggest go to this course content, guys. It is a very extensive course. Any other questions, guys? Can you show again download of Playwright? Yes, Preeti, it is very simple. Okay, I'll write this command for you. I can, oh yes, tomorrow again, I'll show you the download of Playwright. So please join tomorrow as well. So tomorrow is again another demo class. So npm init playwright @latest. I've shared this command with you, Preeti. I already downloaded with JS. Is it possible to change to TypeScript? Yes, Reba, we can do this. Just change your configuration file. Okay, so in your Playwright, you have a configuration file. What is the name of the config file? It is your playwright.config.ts. Just change it to JS and just change your. Okay, let me just share my screen quickly. So that's a very good question. Now, I hope you're able to see my screen right now. Just change your TS file to JS and just change this file to JS. Now it is a JavaScript project. That's it. Nothing else. So if by mistake you created a JavaScript project, you want to convert to TypeScript, just change JS to TS. That's it. And your project is now a TS project. How do you know your project is TS? Look at your config file. It is a TypeScript project. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Any other questions, guys? And very important thing about this course is, guys, this is not just a regular course. This is about the mentorship. Because I still remember when I got started in my career, I really struggled big time. Why? Unfortunately, there was nobody who could guide me and mentor me. Back then, I didn't even understand the meaning of mentorship. I really wanted somebody who could help me and guide me. And I understand the pain. I interact with a lot of people. A lot of people come to me asking for mentorship and saying, Piyush, I really feel lost. I don't know. There are tons of tools in the market. Should I start with Selenium, Cypress, Playwright? So he's not asking me that. He's actually understanding. Indirectly, he's telling me, Piyush, I need some guidance. That is where most people are lacking. Okay. So this is not just a course, guys. We are talking about real mentorship here. So even after this course gets over, you can stay in touch with me. And I'm always there to help you and guide you, because I know market is very bad actually. Okay. People used to think TCS used to be a very stable company. And that is why, even though it used to pay very less, people stayed in TCS. Why? For job security. But now we know there is no such thing as job security, guys. So what you want to do is, guys, please don't, very importantly, this is not a part of this course, but still I'm telling you. So please don't splurge your money, spend your money wisely. Don't take unnecessary loans. Don't take unnecessary EMIs. Spend your money very wisely, especially in these times. You should have a cash of at least 3 to 6 months nowadays. You don't know what can happen tomorrow. Please don't buy anything on credit, if possible. Please don't do this. Okay, because I've made these silly mistakes. I still remember in 2008, I bought a cash paid iPhone, 36,000 rupees. Very silly decision that I've taken. I didn't need any iPhone back then. Yeah, I was having a good phone, but still, just because I wanted to look cool, I'm from Punjab, no? Especially in North India, people who believe in show off. Sorry, I'm from Punjab. So, so nobody guided me that I should not, buy such expensive things which I don't need. Okay, so please don't do this. I'm sharing from my experience. Okay, I'll be keep on sharing these things because I know a lot of you need these kind of things. So yes, we'll talk about Playwright and JavaScript, but I'll keep on sharing these fillers also, which I know a lot of you will find useful. Okay. And very importantly, you want to train your brain every single day that JavaScript is easy. Why? Some of you are doing a very negative self-talk or destructive self-talk. Some of you keep on saying yourself every single day, I'm not good enough. I'm not confident. A lot of you keep on saying, please stop poisoning your mind. Why? Because your brain is super powerful. It doesn't believe anything else. Whatever you tell your brain, it starts believing it. Okay. So please always tell yourself, JavaScript is easy, Playwright is easy. I'm getting better. I'm getting good job offers. Okay. Your energy will change, and that is how you show up confidently. Yes, you want to fake it till you make it. Anyone wants to ask me any question? We'll have a lot of fun, guys. I'm pretty sure you will get my energy actually. If there are no questions, we can stop it and we can meet tomorrow, guys. Okay. So I guess there are no further questions, which is fine. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for joining in. It was great meeting you all. So tomorrow we'll start dot on time. I'll usually start around 5 minutes early so that people have some questions. You guys can join early, maybe 5 minutes early. We can interact with these people. If you have any questions, anything you want to ask me, you can connect with me. And I'm also available on LinkedIn also, in case you want to stay in touch. Okay. So see you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.